I want to share with you a secret. Most college applications are not very good. Even top students write poor essays. I know this because I read and reviewed thousands of college essays as a UT Austin undergraduate admissions counselor. I read a recent article on McSweeney's by Amelia Tate that's a college rejection letter satire. The headline reads, "We're unable to offer you a place at Yale because your essay read like the closing narration of a teen rom-com." I recently reread my own college essays that got me into UT Austin liberal arts honors, and look, they were terrible, last-minute, shoddy efforts that were still good enough to get me into honors. I got into honors not due to my B+ grades and mediocre ACT score, but because I happened to be born at a time when spaces in prestigious programs were challenging but not unattainable. Admitted students love to self-report their essays online as an 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, but these assessments are prone to the better than average fallacy. Everybody thinks they're above average, but students have no standards of comparison except maybe a few classmates or samples that they read online. You only see the best samples in college guides because nobody would read 50 good enough but not amazing essays for Harvard. There's a subgenre for beating the college essay that clocks in at over 4,000 books on Amazon because doing even a little bit better than mediocre can give you an edge. I read a study of Michigan's early 2000s essay topic on diversity, and the researchers went out of their way to stress just how bad the essays were. I quote, "Many essays did not read as though anyone had even helped the applicants hone what they were trying to say, let alone reveal evidence of coaching. Pitfalls like vagueness, cliches, recaps of the resume, claims of passion, and lack of a clear point were extremely common. As shotgunning becomes more popular with applicants, as more and more people apply to 10, 20, or more universities, there's an even steeper trade-off between essay quality and application quantity. If most essays aren't very good, why do they play such a prominent role? Admissions gatekeepers mislead their applicants when they say essays are essential. They claim to want to get to know their applicants, ignoring that essays are almost always skimmed. Entire applications are usually read in less than 10 minutes. And in a separate video, I discuss why the holistic review process is broken and flawed. College essays are a monumental waste of time and human resources. It's not unheard of for some applicants to submit upwards of 50 essays for their varied admissions, honors, and scholarship applications. Students who applied nationwide likely work anywhere from 100 to 200 hours, if not more, on their applications, and that's not even accounting for distractions and false starts. And the phenomenon of so many essays, it's not even recent. One thing I loved about researching my book, Surviving the College Admissions Madness, is digging deep into the archives and reading admissions commentary from the past. I found a fascinating 1965 journal article from an education critic named Fred Crossland, and he makes an observation that could apply today. Quote, "Millions of dollars are wasted on application fees, millions of man-hours are wasted on recruitment, millions of anxious student hours are wasted on unnecessary and redundant testing and filling out of forms. That precious time should be spent in learning and experiencing the joys of intellectual growth." Anytime the topic of essay quality arises on Reddit, for example, former and current admissions counselors chime in with universal agreement. Most of you just don't know how to write, and I'm here to tell you that it's not your fault. The education system hasn't trained you to write in the real world. Students aren't very good storytellers. They can't express their ambitions and dreams with reference to their lived experiences. They don't know how to construct arguments. And college essays, at the end of the day, are arguments about whether you're deserving an admission space. When I used to review applications, I was tempted to blame the students for their unoriginal and boring essays, or maybe their parents who wrote the essays for them. High school doesn't teach you to write clearly, concisely, and from the first person. Instead, writing training is mixed up with literary analysis in your English language and literature classes. My least favorite piece of college advice for the essays is for students to find their voice. Students mistake their voice for what are essentially glaring errors and bad habits. Their voice literally reads like daydreams that make perfect sense to them, but little sense to anonymous readers. They have no idea how to recognize voice because they're trained to write in the third person and in the passive voice. I've filled over 25 handwritten journals, published 2 books, and written many millions of words while receiving intensive feedback from my UT professors and from professional editors. And look, here are my journals from just the past year, and I'm just now starting to find my voice. My style continues to evolve depending on where I'm at and what I'm reading. Prolific bestseller Stephen King, he wrote the book on writing, and he shares over and over that his style and voice continues to evolve. If his early drafts require intensive editing, so too do you and I need feedback. Persuasive college essays require clarity, precision, word economy, and perhaps most importantly, honesty. Consequently, the average college essay is a vague, rambling mess, indistinguishable from one another, even from the best applicants. It's, as Amelia Tate suggests, like the closing narration of a teenage rom-com. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment on the video below if there's any content that you would like to see. Don't hesitate to email me if you're interested in working together.